Do you guys, do you enjoy a bit of tennis? Yeah? Do you enjoy a bit of that, what about Sonic the Hedgehog tennis? Do you like, Sauron from Lord of the Rings? How about some racism?
If you haven't played this game, then you're doing something right in life. This game is infamous among the Sonic community for not being infamous. Sega Superstars Tennis is a tennis game with Sega characters. You ever played Mario Tennis? Then you'll love this one! The premise is simple. I forgot what I was gonna fucking say. The premise is simple. You ever played Mario Tennis? Well, imagine that, but instead, shit. I love Sega. I love everything about Sega. I love the franchises. I'm a huge Monkey Ball fan. I love Knights. I love Yakuza. I love so much from Sega. But this game is not good. This game plays as it looks. Bad. This game is a sorta, kinda, not really sequel to that PlayStation iToy game I forgot the name of, released in like 2005 that sold abysmally. The plot of this game is very simple. One day, Sonic was playing Devil May Cry 2 on his PlayStation 2, and he was kidnapped by Eggman, the bad bitch with a bitch. He was then dropped in a cruel replica of Green Hill Zone and told to fight for his life amongst other Sega characters. This game has about 20% of the Sega characters you'd expect in this game, and half of them are Sonic characters. My favorite characters in this game are Knights, Riala, and their fusion child, Rob Schneider. On a serious note, I don't like this game at all. It controls like shit, it kinda looks like shit, there's not a lot of replay value, it's kinda half-assed in a lot of key areas, and I just think that it's kinda overpraised a little bit. Overpraised as in like the 3 people that actually know of this game's existence, but no, stop being mean to the game that I like, no! The best part about this game is its opening. It is absolutely fantastic, and there is no joke here, I love it. You've got a lot of the main Sega cast here. You've got Monkey Ball representation with Ai, you've got Samba de Amigo with Amigo. I've been trying to avoid saying that name for the longest time because I always white personify the way it's supposed to be pronounced. We've got Beaten Gum and Ooh La La and Pudding. We've got Alex Kidd, and oh my god, he looks like shit! You got a bunch of chords from the old Sega games like Afterburner and Kurine Mansion. Yeah, apparently it's because they didn't want to call it the House of the Dead, but I'm not sure about that one. Kurine Mansion is an actual stage from House of the Dead 1 and 2, I'm pretty sure, but like, why would you call the franchise Kurine Mansion? Franchises that aren't represented get like a bonus minigame, which we'll talk about later. How's the gameplay, you might be asking? Well, it sure is tennis. Is it good? It sure is not. Every now and then, the character on screen will, grow sentience and actively defy your command. It's annoying, but game will sometimes just not register you hitting the ball, and it's the most bullshit thing. If you press the button at the slightest wrong time, you won't hit the ball at all. The game just says no, and the ball just actively goes through the racket. Everyone has like a secret super ability that they can use on the court, depending on how big the star is underneath them. Once it reaches the full size and it glows and stuff, you can use an ability that's dependent on the character. Does it help? Yes. As in, it gives you the win for free. I feel like this is the only defining element that actually makes this game like a wacky take on tennis. There's nothing else here that's like far from tradition. The courts don't even change depending on which one you use. They're all the exact same size and length, and there's no cool gimmicks to like obstruct your ball, or it's just not that fun. But that's not my biggest problem. My biggest problem is the CPU. Explain to me why the enemy CPU does this, and then my teammate does this. The CPU in this game are so dumb. Actually might be the dumbest CPU I've ever played against in any game. Playing on the hardest difficulty in this game is a breeze. It's probably to overcompensate for the fact that this game controls like a donkey's bow. Let's talk about the meat and potatoes of this game, that being like the bonus content and shit, because let's be real, say it with me, the main game sucks! The Sonic's Ring Collector game requires you to collect as many rings as possible before the time runs out. Also, not to have a hernia while doing it. The Jet Set Radio minigame requires you to hit paint cans onto the court and fill out a word or a little graffiti symbol or something with color. It's fun. There is a really cool Puyo Puyo minigame you can play where you have to hit like a chain of Puyos to pop them. It's literally Puyo Puyo without an opponent and using a tennis racket. It's so good. Monkey Balls is cockshite. There's this really cool Fantasy Zone minigame where you have to use your tennis balls to like knock down these like faces and stuff and like little mushrooms, and it's basically like a wave survival thing. It's great. The House of the Dead minigame is absolutely my favorite. It's basically a zombie wave survival game, and it's great, real fun. Probably the funnest thing about this game. There's different types of zombies too. There's skinny zombies and two mad zombies, and it's a really good time. There's a cool virtual fighter minigame where you basically have to like shoot these targets, and it's in an original map as well that you straight up just can't get in the like the default game. And like, wow, this is fun. Like, it's so amazing to me how like the shitty side content to unlock characters is better than the actual gameplay itself. There is a choo-choo rocket game that is not fun, and I think that's it. As for other content in this game, there is a tournament mode, don't play it, and there is multiplayer, and I tried to record some multiplayer footage for this video, but my friend Carson had like a little Walter White moment and just had enough of the game, which I don't blame him. There's not a lot more for me to talk about, so I'm gonna propose a little idea here. How about I try and fix the roster for Sega Superstars Tennis? Because quite frankly, the roster in its current state sucks mad penis. So as you can see here, I've made a little mock-up picture of what I think the roster could have been and how better it could have been as well. First of all, remove all secondary or like 4th or 5th fucking characters if you're the Sonic franchise from the game, because quite frankly, this is a celebration of Sega Superstars, not Sonic Superstars and Friends Superstars. The only 2 remaining Sonic characters in the roster are Sonic and Shadow, and I chose Shadow because I like Shadow. Super Monkey Ball, Nights into Dreams, Space Channel 5, and Jet Set Radio all have 1 representative now, because I feel like them having 2 kind of chewed up the roster a little bit. And let me ask, who's clamoring for Pudding's inclusion? Now that the roster's being condensed, let's add some cool Sega characters that aren't traditionally part of this franchise. Let's add Jackie Bryant. I know he was in the Sonic and Sega All-Stars racing game, but I feel like he should have a place here because he's sick. Skies of Arcadia deserves a representative, so I've added Vice in there because he appeared in the Transformed game, and I also think he's a cool character. Gilius Thundercock, or whatever his name is, can stay in the roster because I feel like Golden Axe is a pretty important milestone in Sega's history. Really obscure pick here, but I've added G from House of the Dead because he's appeared in multiple of the games. One is the main protagonist, one is a multiplayer character, and he's even appeared in other Sega games. And I also think that House of the Dead deserves more representative, nice, good fucking English. Ryu Hazuki, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, from Shenmue. I'm adding him because my friend really likes him. He also has a significant role in the Dreamcast history, and a lot of Japanese people like him, so I think he's a good pick. The cat from Choo Choo Rocket, because he looks quirky. Al or Ale from Puyo Puyo, because Puyo Puyo is a massive series right now. Billy Hatcher's a pretty easy pick here, because I'm pretty sure Billy Hatcher was one of the first IPs Sega made that wasn't exclusive to a console of their own. Finally, Honey from Fighting Vipers, because I'm pretty sure Fighting Vipers was very successful in Japan, and she's also pretty iconic with her design and the links you can make to Sonic and stuff, so yeah, I think she's a good pick. With this change alone, 8 new franchises are represented in the roster now. That's a fucking W and a half right there. The worst part about this game is that it had so much potential to be so much more than it currently is, and it's just undersold by the extremely blatantly boring roster, the weird stage selection, the boring gameplay, and I feel like everything takes a hit in this game. So how should you play this game then? Watch the intro and then turn it off.